So I promised in this video that I'd be showing you a Shopsmith tool that you couldn't pay me to use, and that is this fellow right here, which is the Shopsmith Universal Biscuit Joiner. Yeah, Jeffrey asked last week, well, what were those little side fins, whatever, on the Shopsmith Biscuit Joiner? And that was for this purpose. You'll notice that this is a Shopsmith supplied board. It's got some threaded inserts in it. And instead of attaching the biscuit joiner to the quill as we normally would on our Mark V, instead this has got some needle bearings supporting an arbor that has the blade mounted to it. So the theory behind this is you could take anybody's drill press and mount this on that drill press and use it for cutting biscuit slots. Yeah, let's see how this pans out. So this is a Harbor Freight bench top drill press. If anything can put this to the test, this will be it. You can see that I'm pretty limited in my throat here. And just so you know, legitimate product. There's the instruction sheet that came with the Universal Biscuit Joiner. This needs to be lined up with our quill. And on little drill presses like this, we don't have little drill presses like this don't have a stop to keep the quill extended. So we're going to be relying upon the resistance from this arbor and the unit to keep this thing from snapping back up. And then we're going to also want to clamp this to our drill press table. They just suggest that you do that. They don't really give you any accommodations for that. And this table is so small, there's hardly anything for us to hold on to. But if we rotate this to about a 45-degree angle, that gives me a little bit of beef in order to get my clamps positioned to the table. I suppose if you were using this for realsies as your primary biscuit joiner, you could drill or tap or whatever, put some bolts in place. What's important is once it's all here, you want to make sure that everything can move smoothly. Oh, there you go. So this has got a Morse taper that's just driven into that chuck. That's what holds chucks onto most drill presses. You know, people talk about that silly set screw on the Shopsmith for holding the chuck in place. Well, at least I've got a silly set screw. Most drill presses have just a tapered spindle. Again, I'm not sure how this is going to work. I tapped on that earlier to drive it up, and wow, yeah, this is going to be under constant spring tension to want to snap it back. Let me see if I can come up with something. Yeah, it's going to just be me. I'm going to have to keep some pressure here on the quill. So let's give this a try. Woo! Yeah, well, you know, it made a slot all right. So what you got with this was you got a fence that would bolt in place onto the table that would allow you to make your end grain plunges. You got a variety of spacers that you would use between the biscuit joiner and the table to achieve different heights on your slots. All in all, this is just scary as heck. So what's the weak link in this design? Well, clearly, Shopsmith has no idea what kind of drill press you own. And in the case of a small benchtop drill press, did you bolt it down? Did you clamp it or bolt it to the table properly? Is your table going to rotate on the shaft when you put some force against it? Is the chuck going to slip off the quill? All those things add up to potential issues that they just don't have when they know you're going to mount the Shopsmith version on your Mark V. So all in all, this thing failed. It failed around the time that Shopsmith was trying something new with changing all their stores to Woodworking Unlimited stores, trying to appeal to people with all kinds of power tools. And that was a fail, and this was a fail. And so, you know, at this point, it's just a collector's tool for people that like Shopsmith weird stuff. You couldn't pay me to build a project with it. That's all I'm saying about that. So look forward to your questions, comments, and cheap shots if there are any. And in the meantime, make it a great day.